Greetings, everyone. This is Terry Naturally with another edition of Terry Talks Nutrition. We're here every weekend, same time, same station, and we are joining you. We're asking you to join us to be with us on our health and nutrition program. We want you to get the best possible information, the knowledge, education that will help you improve the quality of your life. There is no need to be sick and ill. And if you do the right things, select the right diet, the right level of exercise, the right level of sleep, and you do all the good things that maybe you have not done in years or decades, and you can turn your life around. I don't care how bad off you are. Now, there are some things that are not reversible if you've gone beyond the point of destruction, where you have worn out your joints. You have bone on bone. And yet you can still live without pain, but you can't repair them. You can't bring them back to a healthy condition. They've gone too far. So some people can take a supplement and the change of diet and see miraculous results in a few months. And someone else might try that and say, it doesn't work. It does work. You may be on a workable condition, but you can still get better. There is no condition, no age beyond repair. Everything is fixable to a certain point. And if you make the changes, get rid of the American diet, which is primarily sugar and carbohydrates, and change it over to a high protein, very high fat intake, with very, very little carbohydrates and no sugar. You can find that type of diet on my website, terrytalksnutrition.com. You can also find it at ketogenicdietresource.com and also the dietdoctor.com. These are all websites that can help you improve the level of your diet. And I say diet, I don't mean you're dieting. I don't mean you're trying to lose weight. You'll automatically lose weight if you need to lose weight when you select one of these three diets. And I would like to see you fix on the ketogenic diet or the diet that is on my website. You'll have better results faster. But you have to sacrifice what you're doing now. You can't live the lifestyle you are now living, which caused all your problems, and then think you can do whatever you want and you'll be better off. Remember, you and I are the only ones responsible for our health. And today we're going to be talking about your digestive system and how it can be fixed with probiotics. And then women, take better care of your heart, as your heart can be seriously damaged more frequently than in a male or man. And remember, a multivitamin is good for your memory if you remember to take your vitamin. And then what can you do for varicose veins? they can be very, very painful, very disfigured. And we'll talk about the herb of the day, bacopa. And then why have depression rates hit a new high? More people today are depressed than ever before. And how much vitamin D should you give your kids? And lots of people, maybe 80% of American adults, are experiencing chronic pain. Well, we'll answer all these today. We'll give you ideas and options how you can fix some of these conditions. But let's start first with your digestive system and how it can be fixed with probiotics. Probiotics, different than antibiotics. Antibiotics kill bacteria. Probiotics are living bacteria, healthy, good, living bacteria that's required for a healthy intestinal tract and digestive system. Now, here are 3 things that these good bugs, they really are bugs, probiotics will do for you. First of all, they'll reduce inflammation. They're anti-inflammatory. They'll strengthen the intestinal wall. They'll reduce intestinal permeability. Influence the immune system. 70% of the immune system is in the intestinal tract. And all the function that keeps us healthy from bacteria, or bacterial infection, viral infection, fungal infection, all infections come from the intestinal tract. So if you have bronchial infection, or if you have a viral infection, cold or flu, take care of your intestines. Researchers in Canada and many other countries are looking at vitamin D and how it affects the probiotics as a treatment for COVID-19. Here's a plus for you. Here's an aid in food digestion. Keep all harmful bacteria, which otherwise are considered to be pathogens. They're not helpful for us. They're not healthy for us. They're the enemy. But try to keep them in check. Here are some reasons why you should add probiotics to your vitamin or supplement regimen. Well, first of all, most well-known benefit from probiotics or adding probiotics, if you have not yet done so, is to eliminate digestive issues. There are 3 probiotics that I really like. And this is one of them. Lactobacillus plantarum. A 4-week clinical study using this bacteria reduced IBS and its symptoms in 95% of those taking it versus only 15% of patients taking a placebo. So if you have intestinal issues, Crohn's disease, colitis, IBD, IBS. Probiotics can make a huge difference in your recovery. And they're useful for any inflammatory digestive issue, such as bloating, gas, constipation, or diarrhea. Now, how can it fix constipation when you can't go, and fix it when you overgo, like diarrhea? Because it regulates the intestinal tract. Cramping from IBS, colitis, Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel issues, and more. Now, some other uses why we should be taking probiotics. Weight loss. Overweight women taking one of my other special probiotics. I like 3 of them. First of all, I told you already about Lactobacillus plantarum. And this is Lactobacillus rhamnosus. And then the other one is called Bifidobacterium bifidus. Wow, these are some names, right? They don't roll off the tongue like all the other things we talk about. But anyway, weight loss. Overweight women taking the Lactobacillus rhamnosus for 12 weeks lost twice as much weight as women taking a placebo. And also recovery after colon surgery. Post-surgery colon cancer patients receiving probiotics had a 50% reduction in the incidence of diarrhea and a 15% faster return of bowel function, normal bowel function, than patients taking a placebo. What about eczema? Babies with eczema given probiotics called Bifidobacterium bifidus had a 36% reduction in the symptoms of eczema versus only 8% reduction in the placebo group. Now, if you're taking antibiotics, or if it may be necessary that you take antibiotics, this can also be a co-treatment with the drugs. Based on a study, 650 people treated with antibiotics and proton pump inhibitors for H. pylori infection, 15% more people in the probiotic group recovered completely and had significantly fewer problems with nausea, gas, bloating, and diarrhea than the group receiving standard treatment only. Now, 3 things you should think about when you decide to purchase a probiotic supplement. What do you want to look for? How do you know what you're shopping for? How do you know you're getting the right one? Unless you have a big desire to learn so much about probiotics that you become somewhat of an expert. And you can. And I do encourage you to learn more on everything we talk about. I'm just skimming the surface. But you have so much more to gain. Well, first of all, probiotics are alive. They're living bugs. So when you buy a product, look for a guaranteed number of probiotics at time of use, not at time of manufacture. Why does that make a difference? Well, these bugs are alive. The probiotics are a live bug or colony of bugs. But they will die in time. They will die off in time. So when a company manufactures a probiotic and they put on the label 20 billion bacteria time of manufacture, they're right, but they're just not telling you that because they're alive, they may be dead in 3 months or 6 months, or maybe half of them will be dead. So when they say time of manufacture, that's the day they're made. But 6 months later or 3 months later, you could have a dead product where all the bacteria have died off. So any good manufacturer that can guarantee the number for, let's say, 2 years is a phenomenal product. Because that bacteria will last and not die off for 2 years. That's because they have a very unique processing to keep these bacteria alive for 2 years. So the full strength of the product is there for 2 years and does not die off. Also, getting the right kind of bacteria is really more important than a big number of bacteria. I think 10 to 20 billion bacteria is more than enough. I've seen companies sell 500 billion. But you know that within 1 day, they start multiplying so fast under the right conditions that you'll have 500 billion in a few days. It's not worth the cost of buying such a product. And also, and this is also a big one, look for probiotics that are naturally found in the human gastrointestinal tract. I've seen manufactured products that are selling bacteria products that are not a strain compatible with humans. So what does that mean? Well, it means you don't get anything out of it. Maybe they're not even dead, but they're not compatible with a human intestinal tract. So now you want the right ones. And the three that I have found that have been tested the most, the best research, they're human strains, are the Lactobacillus plantarum, Lactobacillus rhamnosus, and Bifidobacterium bifidum. These three bacteria, three bugs, are the most powerful, the most scientifically studied, and the most effective. And you really want to store them properly. Now, with this combination and the guaranteed number, just store them properly, away from extreme heat and humidity, and make sure you take them daily. Now, these are dairy-free. There's no dairy in these forms of bacteria. They're not fermented with any kind of dairy product. There's no milk, no yogurt. They're dairy-free. They last for 2 years at the guaranteed number at time of use. And they're very effective and live for that same amount of period of 2 years. They do not need refrigeration. Just away from, don't store them above the stove. Don't store them where it could have extreme heat. But you don't have to store them in the refrigerator or at a refrigerated temperature, lower temperature. You can travel with these. That's why I like them. If you're traveling and you're going to a country that may cause you to have diarrhea, or a lot of people that do travel because of change of food, change of schedule, they become constipated. These can be taken with you when you travel. You don't need to worry about refrigeration. Very healthy form of probiotics, the natural live bacteria that you need for your intestinal tract to reduce and eliminate intestinal tract issues. Now, women, take the health of your heart very seriously. And why? Because women are at a higher risk of heart disease than men. Previous research has shown women ages 55 and younger have about double the risk of in-hospital death from a heart attack versus men. Wow. New study looked at whether women or not are also more likely to need further hospitalization or a kind of hospital treatment after a heart attack versus men. So to make some sense of this, researchers followed almost 3,000 men and women treated in a hospital after a heart attack. About 30% of the 3,000 men and women, so about 300, of the participants were re-hospitalized in the year following their heart attack. And women were almost twice as likely to need hospital treatment, and were also twice as likely to need treatment for issues not related to the heart. And one common treatment was to treat depression. Depression increases risk of heart disease by as much as 64%. Depression really is hard on the heart. Increases the risk of heart disease by as much as 64%. Now, how do you take 3 steps to a healthier heart? You can. There are some very, very common things we can do to improve the healthiness of the heart. First of all, cut out sugar. There is nothing good about sugar. And sugar causes more damage. Yes, you might say, well, it's only a teaspoon, but you don't know how much sugar we're getting that is hidden sugar. Coffee drinks could be up to 16 teaspoons of sugar per drink. All the fruit juice, all the carbohydrates that have to be converted to sugar to be metabolized in the body. So it's just not sugar, it's all forms of sugar. So cut out sugar. It has no nutritional value whatsoever and has so much damage to the body. Studies have shown people with diets in the highest 20% of the glycemic index were 50% more likely to have a heart attack. Now, the highest level, the highest 20% of the glycemic index, that's all those foods that are very, very high in carbohydrates, like bread, pasta, cakes, cookies, crackers, pretzels, and sugar, of course, and starch, especially potatoes. Potatoes have a very high concentration of starch that is converted to sugar rapidly, and almost entirely of the potato. So potatoes provide more sugar than most candy bars. And that causes people to have 50% more likely to have a heart attack, stroke, or die. Let's just go beyond the heart attack. Also involves the stroke or death. And if they had a pre-existing condition such as diabetes or cancer, and 20% more likely to experience these conditions if they had no pre-existing conditions. So here's 3 of the high glycemic index carbohydrates. Potato, not sweet potato, but white potato, purple potato. Potatoes in general are like eating a candy bar. Bread and rice. And then support the health of your heart with French grapeseed extract called grapeseed OPC. About 150 to 300 milligrams daily of French grapeseed extract reduces blood pressure, comparable to a drug. Improves circulation and blood flow. Strengthens blood vessels. And I have one more to offer you, but I've got to take a break here. Looking at the clock, I'm really wound down to the bottom of the hour, and I have only a few seconds to give the station the time to identify itself and to air some commercials. And then we're going to come back. Don't go away. I'm not going away. I want you to stay with me until the top of the hour. This is Terry Naturally. This is Terry Talks Nutrition. Welcome back, my friends. This is Terry Naturally. And this is the Terry Talks Nutrition Hour. We're here for a full hour every weekend. Same time, same station. Join us. We have a lot to offer you. Now, you may not take all this information and use it, but I beg you to, because it's your health. No one else is going to take care of your health. Nobody is responsible for your health. Nobody's going to change your health, but you and I. And every individual listening. And every individual that's not listening. So we talked about grapeseed OPCs. OPC stands for a long term of a compound that's found in grapeseed. Oligomeric proanthocyanidins. These are compounds that have a very, very high concentration of large particles or very small particles. And it's the very small particles that are absorbable and can support the lowering of blood pressure, supporting heart function, improve circulation and blood flow, and strengthen the arteries and reduce the plaque. Now, drugs can't do that. Quite honestly, I can't think of a drug that can reduce the plaque. That would be a blockbuster drug. And grapeseed extract can reduce the plaque up to 35% in a 12-month period. I know 12 months sounds like a long time, but it also took a long time for the plaque to adhere into the arteries. Years, decades. When people get 70 and 80 years old, they have arteries that are almost blocked. So you can't reduce that plaque in a week or two, or a month or two. It takes time. And to reduce the plaque 35% within 12 months, amazing. So grapeseed extract is one of the best natural alternatives for the heart. Also, a combination of vitamin A, vitamin D3, and vitamin K2. It keeps the arteries flexible and strong. Helps prevent dangerous blood clots and calcium deposits in the arteries. Reduces the risk of heart disease. So, this combination of vitamin A, D3, and K2 is like a traffic cop and directing the flow of traffic. The traffic is made up of calcium, and that calcium should go to the bone and not to the arteries to build up as plaque. So this combination of 3 vitamins direct the calcium to the bones away from the arteries to reduce the risk of heart disease. Now, have you got a good memory? Are you going to remember all this we talked about today? Well, a good multivitamin is good for your memory. You know, so many doctors do not really believe in vitamins for their patients. But a funny thing, in a poll of doctors, a survey of doctors, 70 to 80% of all physicians have said they take a multivitamin and mineral supplement daily. And also, a daily multiple can save your memory. New study reports that adults 60 and over can reduce their risk of dementia by taking a daily multivitamin and mineral. The trials included over 3,500 participants, aged 60 and older, who took an annual memory and mental function test for 3 years. A 3-year study. Great, good period of time for a study. 3,500 participants, good amount of population. Could be higher, but 3,500 is good. And for those who are in their age bracket of 60, that have the most difficult time to remember things. The participants took a standard big box daily multiple or a placebo. And when I say big box, that means the major stores that are selling vitamins. So it's a very weak vitamin, all synthetic ingredients, or a placebo. And they found people taking a multivitamin had an estimated 3.1 fewer years of memory loss compared to the placebo group. So I guess we could say, in other words, the multivitamin group was an estimated 3.1 years younger in terms of memory function versus the placebo group. The benefits were sustained for another 2 years of follow-up after the study ended. That means they stopped taking their multivitamin after the study was done, but there were residual benefits after stopping the multivitamin. Up to 2 years, they still had health benefits because it made the body more healthy. But in time, that healthiness of the body wore off. But it was at least another 2 years of sustained benefits, even after the study was stopped. Now, what they found out was that a gummy, that sugar candy, is a terrible choice for a daily vitamin. They found gummies are popular, but you are probably wasting your money if you're buying them for your health. Those taking a tablet or capsule versus those who are getting their vitamins in gummies, which are less stable than tablets or capsules, they lose their potency faster, they have a shorter shelf life, and frequently contain lots of sugar, especially true of gummies for kids. Now, there are some reports that I've run across that have shown that gummies have as much as 8 grams of sugar. That's the equivalent of 2 sugar cubes per gummy. We have to stop and think about our health. Why are we putting sugar in our bodies when we're taking a vitamin? It doesn't make sense. And they're more likely to contain artificial colors, artificial flavors, and additional sweeteners. The vitamin content is low. And the mineral content is even extremely low or non-existent, because we need more minerals than we do vitamins. So the volume of the minerals can be 8 or 10 times more than the vitamins. So there's no room for the vitamins. There's no room for the minerals. So they don't put minerals in, or just a pinch. I've seen supplements with, our calcium intake should be 800 to 1,200 milligrams a day. Now get this number, 800 to 1,200 milligrams per day. Magnesium, women need 320 milligrams of magnesium. Men need 420 milligrams. So 400, 300 for women, and for calcium, 800 to 1,200 milligrams. I've seen these products, like gummies, and the amount of calcium is 25 milligrams, not 800, 25. And magnesium, all they're doing is putting the name of calcium and magnesium on the product so that people think they're getting calcium and magnesium. When a woman needs 320 milligrams of magnesium and a man needs 420 milligrams, and on the label of the gummy product contained 10 milligrams, not 300, not 400, 10 milligrams of magnesium and 25 milligrams of calcium. And if you don't really understand what you're getting by reading the label, you may think, wow, this is great, I'm getting magnesium and calcium. Yeah, it's like a spit in the ocean. Now, you really want to pick a very effective daily multiple. And really, you can't have one tablet daily because you can't put all the vitamins and all the minerals in meaningful levels in one tablet. Or you could, if the tablet was the size of a golf ball, then you would be able to. But did you try to swallow a golf ball? And maybe it'd be even more difficult to eliminate the golf ball, if you could swallow the golf ball. Don't even look at that picture. But dosage is more than one per day. You've got to be taking at least multiple tablets of a multiple. Then they will contain a full range of vitamins and minerals at more than 100% of the RDA. Now, the RDA, which stands for the recommended daily allowance of vitamins and minerals, is what you need to prevent a full-blown nutrient deficiency, but not enough for what you need for optimal health. And nutrients are for everyone. We don't sit down at our dinner table and a woman eats one kind of dinner and a man eats another kind of dinner and the child eats a different kind of dinner. Our nutrients come from food and we need the same nutrients. So what I'm getting at is you don't need a very gender-specific formula. You don't need one for different ages. Nutrients in their optimal forms of absorption and efficacy, active forms of B vitamins and chelated minerals, and always look for natural formula free of toxic ingredients like BHT, artificial colors, artificial flavors. Why do you want to add more garbage to your body when you're trying to get healthier? Now, we talked about our heart, especially for women, in the earlier part of the program. And women seem to be, women seem to have the most difficult condition and trial with varicose veins. Yes, it's common in men too, but more common in women. Why are the veins in your legs so obvious? Because they're swollen. Your veins are swollen. Twisted veins that are close to the surface of the skin. And also the spider veins, which are much smaller, but they're still varicose veins. They're just smaller. What causes them? Why do you have varicose veins? Why do they protrude? Why do they look sometimes so unsightly? Why do they sometimes ache and hurt and feel very tired? Well, here are some of the reasons why we would suspect varicose veins in men or women. Increased blood pressure. Increased blood pressure in the veins and weak vein walls and valves. So they protrude, they swell, they have a lot of pressure, they hurt, they make your legs more tired. So what can you do about them? Well, of course, surgery. But they're not always successful. And they can lead to dangerous blood clots or infection. Compression stockings. Not a cure, but can be quite helpful in combination with other treatments. So we can address the underlying problems. We can work on reducing blood pressure. And a combination of grapeseed extract and olive leaf extract have been proven to be more successful than drug therapy. to reduce blood pressure. French grapeseed extract strengthens veins and arteries and improves blood circulation, along with improving the strength of the arteries. So here's another tip. Well, I should say 3 tips. There's 3 ways of looking at this. If we're going to reduce the blood pressure, how do we do that? And how do we strengthen the veins? The best natural supplement in the world for strengthening the heart, strengthening the veins, the arteries, and reducing blood pressure are the natural compounds called OPCs from grapeseed. 300 milligrams of French grapeseed extract. And why I say French? Because the French really have a high quality grapeseed extract available worldwide. They produce more wine, especially white wine, where the grape seeds are not used in production of white wine. And they have very high quality, which does not contain any tannins. Condensed tannins have a very large molecular size and can't be absorbed systemically. And the French is the best because the whole country sells grapeseed extract from China. 95% of the grapeseed on the market is from China. This is French grapeseed, the kind you really want. Because 300 milligrams of grapeseed extract twice daily in clinical studies, real studies, in clinical studies, this is the gold standard for determining results. And the grapeseed extract significantly reduces blood pressure. Additionally, the OPCs in grapeseed help strengthen collagen. And collagen is the protein in the vein walls, keeping veins flexible, elastic, pliable, and healthy. And additionally, OPCs protect the veins from oxidative damage. Now, we talked about earlier in this hour about vitamins A and D, which are also important for cells that line the inside of the blood vessels. And vitamin K, too, works with them to prevent calcium deposits in the arteries and ensure blood circulation. So look for a combination of vitamin A, vitamin D3, and K2 and use it daily. 90 micrograms to 180 micrograms daily. And then also too, since your veins, varicose veins, are on the surface of the skin, you can see them, you can touch them. So for the pain and the itching from varicose veins, you can apply a topical cream made from comfrey 2 or more times per day. Use it liberally and frequently. It is so healing to the vascular system. Now let's talk a little bit more about memory. We did bring up memory earlier in the program. So now this is an herb for memory. Boost your brain. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? Think better, think sharper, have more clarity of memory, recall everything. and improve the short-term memory loss. So how do you boost your brain? Well, one supplement, one herb, which grows in India, called Bacopa. B like in boy, A, C like Charlie, O, P like Peter, A, Bacopa, is very well known as a traditional medicine with a very long history of benefits for brain and mental function. And now, a lot of these herbs have been used for thousands of years. Long before science didn't discover them, because they have been used for hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years. Like Greek mountain tea has been used by the shepherds tending their flocks in Greece. They drank it because it was hot tea. They were sometimes shivering in the morning, tending their flock. It was good for memory, antioxidant. It had a lot of good, healthy benefits. But they've been doing that for hundreds of years. Curcumin has been used for thousands of years. But it's only been recently that science has been shown the same benefits as it has been used historically or traditionally. Science just proves it. But the population really did prove it because it worked for them. That's why they drank it. That's why they ate it. That's why they took it. So modern research shows that Bacopa can increase brain compounds associated with learning and memory, protect brain cells from free radical damage, and reduce anxiety. In a clinical study in healthy adults, a single dose of Bacopa improved scores on standardized mental function tests, as well as reducing cortisol and improving mood. Some of the key compounds in Bacopa, Bacopicides, look for extracts standardized to about 20% of these key compounds that are found in Bacopa. And really, I just mentioned Greek mountain tea because I've run across some really good research on Greek mountain tea. It is a tea, but now it's been made into a supplement in capsules, and the first time ever now available in the U.S. And it is a herb with a long history of use for memory and mental function. So you can take the combination, if you wish, like Greek mountain tea and Bacopa, for improving memory, preventing mental decline, sharpening the focus and concentration while stressed. So you can take like about 200 to 400 milligrams of Bacopa plus 450 milligrams to 900 milligrams of Greek mountain tea. Well, my friends, it's too late to open up another subject. So it's time to sign off for today. But you can always join me every weekend right here, same time, same station, for more health tips as to how you may achieve a better quality of life, more vitality, and grace, and age gracefully. We're all going to age. That's nothing we can ever stop. But maybe we can do it in a better manner. So please pray for this crazy, crazy world. We need help. God is the master of this world. So God bless you, my friends, and God bless this great country.
Thank you for listening to Terry Talks Nutrition Weekly Show. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform, including Apple, Google, and iHeartRadio.